My name is Marissa Gavami, and I'm the founding executive and artistic director of Healing Tree, a 501c3 nonprofit. After experiencing abuse and severe trauma in my late teens, I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. I was able to make a full recovery because I had access to trauma-focused treatment. But I learned that a lack of awareness on how to properly treat trauma, as well as healthcare inequities, leave the vast majority of folks not as fortunate. Trauma occurs when our capacity to cope is overwhelmed, and it's nothing short of a public health crisis, touching nearly all of our lives, through experiences ranging from emotional abuse to assault, domestic violence, addiction, divorce, systemic oppression, and war. The CDC Kaiser Permanente Adverse Childhood Experiences, or ACE study, shows a strong correlation between childhood trauma and the leading causes of death and dysfunction, including mental illness, suicide, addiction, and even cancer. Effects of trauma are often treated as the primary condition, and it's common practice to simply put a band-aid on the symptoms through talk and drug therapy alone. Treatments that allow for real healing by engaging the fight or flight part of the brain where trauma injures us exist. However, research in the trauma field has not yet integrated with the mental health and medical fields at large. I founded Healing Tree in order to spread awareness and increase access to these life-saving treatments so that cycles can be broken and healing can become the new normal. Healing Tree stands for Healing Trauma Resources, Education, and Entertainment. We advocate healing from abuse and trauma rather than coping with the symptoms in order to transform lives and ultimately society. When you give to Healing Tree, you fund our 3 key programs driving this change. The first is our Approved Care Network, or ACN. Healing Tree provides a free nationwide directory of personally vetted, trauma-focused mental health providers. We connect clients with professionals trained in modalities like EMDR and somatic experiencing, and who meet their unique needs, like being a therapist of color, a queer therapist, one who accepts their insurance, or offers sliding scale. We currently have providers in over 25 states. Giving to Healing Tree helps keep this program free, removing barriers in the mental health system. Our second key program increases access to EMDR, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy, an evidence-based treatment modality for trauma, which is highly effective, but often cost prohibitive for therapists to get trained in. To drive healthcare equity, we facilitate trainings and sponsor therapists and social service agencies who work with youth in the foster care, child welfare, and juvenile justice systems. As of 2022, we've provided nearly 15,000 youth access to EMDR. $1,900 sponsors one therapist, serving about 50 youth in a year, so just $38 provides this life-changing therapy to another underserved child. Finally, Healing Tree produces and partners with art that drives social change. We host workshops on often unrecognized forms of emotional abuse and subsequent trauma built around our short film Silk, which features mainstream talent. Many participants realize during our workshop that they have survived or perpetrated these dynamics. Giving to Healing Tree allows us to sponsor workshops for communities that need but cannot afford them. A virtual workshop featuring a screening of Silk with about 25 attendees costs $750. So just $30 allows one more person to attend this event, which breaks cycles of abuse and trauma. Thank you for considering supporting Healing Tree. Together, we can heal abuse and trauma.